Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandy Cook, a manager with Employer Strategy and Engagement in the Employer Services team. Thank you for attending today's webinar, which is part of our Employer Education Program. Our plan for today is to provide an overview of the 2025 annual pension statements. Presenting with me today are Linda McGuire and Deepak Patel, who are both Employer Initiative Leads with Employer Services. Here is our agenda for today. We're going to go through the active DBplus statement page by page to explain where you can find key information. Then we'll show you how to view member statements on My Pension and take you on a tour of the features of the Pension Insights page. Then we'll wrap up by looking at the schedule for statement production. Now I'll turn it over to Linda to begin today's session.
Thanks, Sandy. Let's look at the DBplus statement for a section-by-section review. But before I start, I want to emphasize that there's no personal data on the sample statement we're showing you today. By the end of the presentation, our goal is that you have a better understanding of the annual pension statement and feel more confident in answering any general questions you may get from members. Please refer members to our Member Care Center for assistance for other questions. Let's meet Christina. She's 37 years old and has been a member of DBplus since January 1st, 2021. That's 5 years counted up to the end of last year. Christina is single, and as we'll see from her statement, she has named a few beneficiaries. The first page of the statement is the member's address. The code in very small print below the address is the tracking number for quality assurance purposes. The second page of the member statement is intentionally left blank. The main content of the statement starts on page 3. At the top, under the title, it clearly identifies the time period that the statement data relates to, in this case, the calendar year 2025, and that the data applies to the member's membership at all participating employers where they are employed. In case it's hard to read on screen, it says, this statement includes information about your defined benefit pension from your membership at all participating employers from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. On this page, we can find Christina's name, member ID, and date of birth, along with an indication of none in the space for her spouse's name and a list of her designated beneficiaries. If she hadn't named any beneficiaries, it would say no beneficiaries have been designated. Members can update their spouse and/or beneficiary information using My Pension or by completing and submitting a member change of information form. The accrued pension is front and center, as this is the information that members usually want to know first. The statement shows Christina's accrued pension, payable at her normal retirement age, which is age 65, first as an annual amount, which is $5,061.72, and then as a monthly amount, which is $421.81. If you're focused on the monthly amount, let's remember that Christina is age 37 and has been in the plan for 5 years, so not very long. If Christina wants to see what her pension could be after 28 more years, for example, at normal retirement age, she can use the estimator on My Pension to get that answer. Note also, on each page of the statement, we show the page number and the member's identification number or member ID with CAT. The member ID is the number the member should use to register for My Pension or when contacting the plan to assist us in verifying their identity. Page 4 of the statement includes other key dates that members will want to know and confirm. The first section of information is your retirement dates. This shows Christina's normal retirement date as January 31st, 2054, which is the end of the month in which she turns age 65. Next, it shows the earliest date she can retire with an unreduced pension, which is the same date, January 31st, 2054. The unreduced date is the same as the normal retirement date for all members in DBplus. The earliest date Christina can retire with a reduced pension is January 31st, 2039, which is the end of the month that she reaches age 50. If Christina was already age 50, the statement would not show her earliest reduced date. Instead, the statement would indicate that she is eligible to retire immediately with a reduced pension. You can see that we're also promoting the member portal on this page. We find that sometimes what's holding a member back from registering for my pension is that they don't remember their member ID. And since the ID is on every page of the statement, it's easy for members to register when they have their statement in their hands. Then they'll have access to great features like the personalized pension estimator to aid in their retirement planning. At the bottom of page 4 is employment information. It includes Christina's date of hire, which is May 1st, 2017. And below that, her date of enrollment in the plan, which is January 1st, 2021. And finally, it shows her current plan design, DB Plus. Although all the employers joining us for today's webinar have only DB Plus, some members may have been participating in DB Prime in the past. Page 5 is all about pension details for Christina. The first subsection reports Christina's contributions and those from her employer. In the statement year, the first line shows Christina contributed $3,153.85 to the plan in 2025. Following that, it shows that her employer contributed the same amount, $3,153.85 in the statement year. Then it shows Christina's contributions plus interest as of the end of 2025, which is $29,128.81. And finally, the employer contributions plus interest as of the same date, which is $29,128.81. In the next section, under earnings, we can see Christina's DB Plus eligible earnings of $63,077 in 2025. Page 6 includes information about the Growth Plus investment account and plan provisions. While members who have made a 2025 transfer into Growth Plus might be expecting to see that information on this statement, instead they will be receiving a completely separate Growth Plus statement in June of this year. The plan provisions content on page 6 includes information required by legislation. This includes the plan's registration number, what to expect if you've left your job since the end of 2025, information on how a member can contact the plan with any questions, a description of the scope of the statement information, that it is a summary, and how members can find other pension-related information on My Pension and the CAT website, an explanation that the plan is not integrated with government pensions, and finally, a note that a DB Plus pension payable from the plan is limited by the maximum pension limit set out in the Income Tax Act. Page 7 includes information about plan provisions relating to contribution rates and survivor benefits. The contribution rates section explains that the member and employer contributions that were disclosed earlier on page 5 are based on the member's earnings only and don't include any lump sums that they may have transferred into the plan to make a pension purchase. Members can find information about all the purchases they have made on the member portal. Note that the accrued pension on page 1 of the statement does include any pension accrued due to purchases. This wording about pensions purchases not being included relates to contributions only. Below that, the statement shows the member and employer contribution rates in respect of 2025, and also as of January 1st, 2026, which could be different. If an employer offers contribution choice, an additional sentence will appear, which confirms these rates include the member's contribution choice rates. The section on page 7 provides information about the survivor benefits offered by the plan if a member passes away prior to retirement. This section informs Christina, because she has named several beneficiaries, that her designated beneficiaries will share any death benefits payable from the plan. More details about survivor benefits are available on our website. The final pages of the statement include information about the valuation of the plan, required disclosure about the plan's statement of investment policies and procedures, or the SIP, and a description of the amendments to the plan made in 2025. The upper section of page 8 describes the plan's funded status as of January 1st, 2025. The last two paragraphs provide information about the plan's investment policy and how any member can view the SIP on the CAT website. The last section of the statement describes the amendments to the plan in 2025. These include the following changes: lowering DB prime contribution rates, increasing the DB plus pension factor, and enhancing the minimum payment guarantee. Also, it refers to the new 100% survivor pension option for members who want to elect this option. Next, an amendment enabled the use of deemed earnings for leaves of absence under DB Plus instead of actual earnings. This came into effect for new participating employers last year, and all employers will learn more about this later this year. The plan was also amended to guarantee annual AIW increases for active DB Plus members until 2028, and to extend the current DB Plus early retirement adjustment factor until 2028 as well. That concludes all the major sections of the statement. I'll hand it over to Deepak now.
Thank you, Linda. In the coming months, members who have registered for My Pension and selected electronic communications will receive an email when their online statement and their statement companion becomes available. The companion is an insert with additional information for members. I'll now review how members like Christina can access their active statement on My Pension. Members will be able to view their statement in My Pension in the Annual Statements section. Both the 2025 statement and the statement companion will appear there for all members. Members who have registered for the portal and have provided an email address will receive a notification that their statement is available in My Pension. Members will receive a paper statement in the mail if they have not registered for the portal or if they haven't elected electronic communication. If your members reach out to you indicating they have not received their statement, please direct them to My Pension, or if they require a paper copy, have them reach out to CAT. Members can also view their historical annual statements under the Document Center. Let's now review the section called Pension Insights found in My Pension. We want to encourage members to use Pension Insights by selecting a year, comparing it side by side with the prior year, if applicable, and exploring what's behind their pension. Going back to the dashboard on My Pension, we also want to show you the other pension information the portal provides to members. Please note this is not Christina, but another sample member. On the dashboard above the Annual Statements tile is a tile called Your Pension. This summarizes the member's accrued pension up to the current date and the member's 3 retirement dates as they would appear in the statement. It will provide the member's normal retirement date and a link to our pension estimator. The member can click on the blue button, Estimate Your Pension. This is where a member can learn the estimated pension they can expect to receive at different retirement dates. If a member does not have a pension estimator option, please direct them to CAT. If the member has a balance in a Growth Plus investment account, it will display here also. In the left menu, you'll also see Pension Insights. Let's see what features are there. On this page, members can find a lot of information about their pension customized to their own data where applicable. At the top, they can select the year they want to look at from the dropdown and can compare. Since this section was created last year, members can compare only the 2025 and 2024 statements using this tool. However, they can view all previous statements in the Document Center. Next, there is a graph that compares the accrued pension for the selected year to the prior year. There's a drill down for more details, which I'll show you in a minute. Then, a section summarizing contributions and interest with another option for more details. And at the bottom, an option to expand that section for an overview of how the pension formula works. For the middle section, the member can see the comparison of the year they selected to the previous year if they click Comparison. But if they click Details on the right, they'll see the amounts accrued in each year without having to do the math. The notes say that the amounts include any purchases. For the contribution summary section, the default view is the total member and employer contributions with interest for the selected year. If the member clicks the plus sign, they'll see the balance at the end of the prior year and a breakdown of contributions and interest separately. To see the pension formula information, they can expand the bottom row by clicking the lower right plus sign. The pension formula section describes the formula and defines the elements of the formula. And that's the end of the pension insights section of the member portal. To wrap up, here's a summary of the schedule for statement production. Annual statements for retired members and surviving spouses will be sent by April 30th. Deferred members will receive their annual statements by May 31st. We are also targeting the completion of 98% of active member statements by the end of May. Members who are in the 24-month extension of membership period will receive an annual pension statement by June 30th. All members can view their statements on My Pension.
Does anyone have any further questions? So the question is, are annual statements distributed by CAT, DB, or employers?
Yeah, so the annual statements will be distributed by CAT.
Do we have any further questions?
Yeah, there is one more question. Will employers see the statement is a question that's the second question that was asked.
Members will receive the statement once they're completed. They would be sent to the members directly, either through their member portal or they would be sent by mail depending on their preference. We have another written question. Would it be beneficial to send an updated address listing if employees move? They tend to forget to update address in CAT. That is absolutely a great idea. Definitely providing updated addresses for members through your PBR file can be done, or you can also advise members to update their addresses through the member portal. And we have another question from Norma. Will the statement be available online? The statements will be available online in the member portal for the members. And do we have any other questions about the annual pension statements? I do note that we had a couple questions come in from the prior question slide. So I'll just go ahead and address those ones. So as mentioned in the prior slide, statements will be sent. When will it become available for employees? So statements will be sent by May 31st. We had another question. When is the deadline to update the addresses? So we need to have the addresses in before we begin running the statements. And so I would suggest reaching out to your pension analyst to confirm when that would be. So that way we can get those addresses in before the statements are started. How will the employer know that the statements were sent? Again, you can definitely reach out to your pension analyst to confirm once the statements are sent. And did you say all members should have access to a members insight section? So yes, all members would have some type of access to the members insight section, as long as they have registered for the member portal. That's how they would actually access that information.
If I could add one point, Deepak, I think that there might be a few members, but it would be rare that they do not have the pension insight section, and that might have to do with the complexity of their membership history. And if they have any questions about that, they can contact the Member Care Center.